Can you hear me?
Now I'm pushing. Now I'm on the wrong place, though. Crap! Jeez! What else is new? Okay. Yep. Ah, jeez. I didn't do anything on YouTube, did I? Nope. This is starts. Do everything. We're already going. Fuck. Well, the good news is this one is going to be really, really low rent. We blew it out of the park on Tuesday with Tom Dreesen, and today you're getting what we've got. Oh, hi. How's it going? Hey, what do you think of my new haircut? All right. Went nice and short. Yeah. Hi, everybody. Jay Ryan here. We're in the late night Playset. You're here with us. Thanks for dialing us up. It's the Cars and Comedy Show, except it's not going to be much of a show this evening because we had a great show on Tuesday, and I've had a hell of a week doing other things. So there's tons on the blue card, but we are just going to be hanging out with you, the audience at home, this evening. And I am really, really looking forward to it because this one here has already had quite a week. Say hello to Nicole. Hello, Nicole. What are you wearing there, Volcom? Oh, Purist shoe. Purist. Beautiful, beautiful. We've had a week. We'll talk about that a little bit. And we've got you on the Instagram. Everybody's having a hell of a week. We were, just before the show on Instagram, we were debating the best Hollywood mustache. And producer Mike threw out Tom Selleck, and that was very, very strong until I realized we also had Burt Reynolds in contention. And
yeah,
between the two of them, I mean, it might be a toss-up. I can't say Burt Reynolds over Tom Selleck. He's just older, in my opinion. I mean, he's older factually. He's older in my memory. Anyway, up there, the guy I'm talking to is Canada Mike, producer Mike, in his late show shirt up there in Canada. What is up, fella? How you doing, pal?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? No?
Right. Well, with that, we'll send it over to Will, who will take it away now. Kevin, you gonna buy a Beamer?
Hey, Nicole, how you doing?
Hi, Mike. Good to see you, yo.
It's great to see you,
That's
too.
That's awesome.
Oh, it's so good to be heard. There's nothing like the feeling of speaking and nobody hearing you. And I think you know a little bit about that, don't you?
I do. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Can you tell the big guy that the Letterman podcast IG is what he's live on right now?
I bet he heard you. He's
Okay.
over there.
Okay, excellent.
Not the right
Outstanding.
page.
It's the other IG that we need to be on, the Cars and Comedy one.
Woo! Did I miss
There he
anything?
is.
Apparently, you're on the incorrect Instagram.
Oh, snot. Crap. Really? That's why nobody's here. All right. I'm hanging up. Thanks, buddy. Welcome to the Disaster Show. The good news is I don't think this will actually go anywhere. I think this is just one of those, get out of here. Get out of here. Oh, you son of a. I think this is one of those, we'll just leave the Dreesen show up to get the clicks and we'll just spend the time with the audience here was my intention tonight, except that I can't seem to find them. This is the whole thing. Gosh darn it. Discard. Yeah, discard. Although we should have kept it since nobody will ever see it. I'm on the Letterman. But God damn it. For real? How does this keep happening? Oh, you know what, Mike? Every time I get booted out during the show, you said I got booted out last time, it sends me back.
Oh, it resets back to the, okay, I gotcha. It defaults to that one.
Oh, this is such a hassle now. I've got to do my whole thing again. What's the damn... All right, Cars and Comedy. That's the easy part. 111, right? That one?
Not for nothing, but I love disaster shows.
Oh, good for you. Create. I'm trying to create a new one, and it won't let me create Cars Comedy 111 because it's... How do I get at it? This is a nightmare. I'm so bad with technology. Please enjoy the experience with me. I'm so bad at technology here that... oh, no. Log into existing account, yeah. That when this happens, I just wish I was dead. I wish the whole... I'd rather just start over from birth. I feel like we've gone so far that I just can't get out of what I'm doing that I need to start over completely. Usually I just close the app and then I start up the app again and then, everything's there how I recognize it. No. Cars and Comedy 111. Oh, now good luck remembering my password. Send an email.
Wouldn't it be great if this was the first show that Dave watched? It'd be so great if this was the first
Send
one.
an SMS. Oh, my God, to get my thing. Oh, this is a nightmare. We're trying to do a good thing here by hanging out with the Instagram audience, and I can't even get on the damn Instagram. Now I'm kicked out of everything. Now I'm out of it on my phone, too. We'll remember the login for Cars and Comedy. You won't need to enter it again. Save password. Wait, now I'm in. What's happening? God damn. All right, you talk to Mike for a second while I turn on the AC so I can remedy this problem.
This is
Have
the
you
greatest
seen
show
the
ever.
Mulaney bet about not being a robot and having prove that you're not every time he logs in? You have.
Absolutely. That is a genius 8-9 minutes of comedy right there. Oh my God, that's so good. Holy smokes, that is good
It's like
stuff.
a robot captcha type of thing that people fail.
Well, it's Mulaney. He has a beautiful piece of, I think it's probably 8 minutes where he goes off just explaining how ridiculous the dual authentication proving you're not a robot is. And I could never do it justice, nor do I want to give away people's bits. I have learned that's what you don't want to do. You don't want to give away people's bits ever. You just want to talk about how amazing they are. And boy, is that ever a good piece of comedy right there.
Agreed.
Wish I could hear what you guys were saying. I have no idea what I'm doing over here. I'm in here, but I need this to do this. So I need to get in here, and I'm not. Here, I'm going to do what I said before. I'm going to close the app because that's what always works for me. Oh, look at that. It's updating the app as we speak. Maybe that was it.
Oh, that's handy.
Updating the app. It's got the the spiral there, and it's not full color. Give me a moment here. Oh, I guess I could put looks like this. I'll just put this in. You can all see me doing it. All right, there is Madeline Smithberg getting her hair shaved. Madeline Smithberg, producer from The Letterman Show. She's going through some not fun cancer stuff at the moment. Now I'm at the Letterman podcast again. Gosh darn it. Well, now I can't.
Okay, you know how to go back?
Everyone will see what I'm doing here.
Oh.
All right, username. No, not a new account. Oh shit, I did it.
Nope. No.
This is a nightmare.
Click the right hand icon.
Unfortunately,
and then go up and click the
everything's
name.
blocked by cameras and microphones and shit sticking out of this thing. God damn it. All right. Did the air conditioning turn on yet? I haven't felt it.
I haven't heard it. No. I
put it down 3 degrees and nothing's happening.
I just heard Mike laughing.
Thank God.
I'm just glad it's not me for once.
Yep. Log into existing account. Yep. Here we go. Cars and here we go. Oh, it had my information saved. Guys, this is amazing. All right. I think
this is amazing.
Holy crap. I can see the sweat on my lip.
I'd like to think that Tom Dreesen and David Letterman are watching this show right now based on the strength of
God
the last
damn
show.
it. I sure hope not. This has been a nightmare. Brought to you by your friends at St. Clair Insurance and Series 1 Films. Here we go. All right. Are we on the right thing? Like, I was talking to the wrong people. I don't even... You've joined us on a great
we're
night.
there.
You've joined us on a great night. Paul Kennel said he's been watching lately more so because he feels like I'm about to snap on the air one day and he wants to be here when it happens. And I said that may be an astute observation. The air conditioning just kicked on in the studio. I don't know what the holdup was, but George Clark and the engineer finally got the stuff going on in the theater here. Holy crap. Did we talk about anything? You're watching Cars and Comedy here on the Late Night Playset. My name's Jay Ryan. That's Nicole Ryan. We are 12 minutes into this disaster, and it's time to start now. Welcome, everybody. So we were... Oh, God, no. Now I got to be on this. Now, how do I... Mike, why can't you live closer?
I know.
Canada is too damn far for any and all of this to be happening.
One day, sir. One day.
Yeah, but you don't really mean that. You don't really want to live here, do you?
We want to be dual.
What am I looking at here? I'm sorry. I'm looking at a genuine friend of ours, but it looks like, what were you looking at last on this iPad? Meanwhile, that's just Instagram. Hi, Def Sushi, and our friend Justin Mill. Sorry, say again, Mike. I'm all over the place here. I'll settle down in a few, maybe.
Hello.
Maybe not. Hello. Oh, there it is.
No, I'm
Ann
saying
Anstead
hello
goes,
to the
she
image
snorted.
that
All
you
right,
just
so
threw up.
Ann Anstead's watching. Auto Kennel's here now. Yeah, she did snort, and this has been a disaster. Thanks for joining, Ann Anstead. Please come visit us in person, where I will be far more prepared.
Please.
All right, Thursday, June 14th, 2022. This is the Thank You to Instagram Thursday show. Because we've had so many guests in lately that we haven't been spending any time with Instagram. And I realized it after the last one when I was signing off, and I was like, sorry, Instagram, forgot you were here, because I was so intent with Tom. And then, our guest for tonight, Sean Bishop, was exposed to COVID. So even though he's still negative and whatever, playing it safe, blah, blah, blah. Doing what you're supposed to do as COVID cases ramp up in LA again. Whatever. The air's on. Blood pressure's settling. All right, the hellos. It's been a shitty week for us. I don't know about you. How's your week been? We're laughing, and we get up and do it every day. But this week has been exceptionally rough, yet at the same time, I feel like good things are coming out of it. So take that or leave it, or whatever you do when you take something. And there's salt involved. I know you do something. You throw salt over your shoulder, or maybe there's a grain of salt. We're going to do a lot of stuff tonight. We're going to be hanging out with Instagram. We're going to be showing our gratitude to our friends on Instagram. Hi, Hank on camera 4. Hank, Hank he's on camera 4. Here's the thing. We need another iPhone. That's what I'm trying to say. We need another iPhone, but now it's got to be 11 or newer, preferably 12, which is crazy because 13's out and then 14 will be out soon. Whoa. So whatever. But hi, Hank on camera 4. Augustin Finale. Corsa PR gal, hi. Deb from Singer. Matthew came and went. Oh, that's hilarious. What a clever name, Matthew. Came in like Porsche came in. Matthew came and went. Matthew came and went. He's like a clever license plate. I love it.
Good job.
Multiple layers.
Yeah, and Mike on this one too. You know, you're more the numerology person, I guess, but maybe me more than anybody. You know, people always ask us about the one. Pardon me, just settling into the position here. Sorry. The license plates and numerology and weird. It's weird how. Oh, don't do that again. I hate when you do shtick. Shtick on your own show. Trying to tell you a story. All right. I'm leaving the Dino today, and I'm coming back home. It's like 8:30 in the morning, right? And I'm behind a license plate. I'm behind a car with the license plate. 77777 57s LA. And I think, oh, that's weird. And I think, oh, but maybe it's like leave off the last S for savings. I don't know. It could be anything. I thought it was like a promo or somebody's personalized plate. Didn't think anything of it. It's only about a 5-minute ride, what I'm taking here. And then I got off that road and I got on the freeway. And now I'm on the freeway. By the way, it was kind of weird. That guy sort of just, I wasn't with that guy. He just sort of put his car in front of me at one of those places, and it didn't bother me. And he didn't cut me off, but that's when I noticed the plate. That's how it got in my 77777 LA. And then moments later, I'm on the freeway now, different road, and the same circumstance happens where another car just kind of puts itself in front of me, and that license plate was 77777. Amazing. AN. Does that mean anything to anybody else? Like in the world of heebie-jeebie weird witchcraft and magic and everything else? The 777, all the sevens, I looked it up. The 5 sevens is apparently like some kind of crazy, like, you know, we're miracle people. We're going to win the lottery this week or something really good's going to happen. Nothing for you? I mean, Vegas, 3 sevens is usually good slots and stuff. Seven's bad for crap.
Upward of repeats like that is ascension based. That's all I know.
Yeah, that's what I was told too. And I also happened to look at the clock at 222, 333, and 444 today. One of those, you know, those weird ones.
That's cool.
So you can see that the result of all of that is absolutely nothing working in the studio. So I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but I'm really happy to be here. On the blue card, we're going to do How's the Weather, because I got a good one. We're going to do How's the Weather, for a reminder, is where we riffle and point and call Barbara Gaines. We're going to do What You Watching, because we've had an opportunity to watch a lot of stuff. And I'm going to tell you about Cars and Comedy at the Marconi. We're going to pitch some GVBC merch. We're going to say some thank yous to Instagram. We're going to do some viewer mail. Got a knock at the door today, and some viewer mail showed up. Hand-delivered. And that's what we're doing this evening. Aren't you glad you hung around for it? Yeah. And Hank on Camera 4 bought a badge. Thank you, Hank on Camera 4. Appreciate it. And I guess the badges are back. Did they go away? Is it sporadic? Is it seasonal? What's the deal? How does it work? Oh, and I'd like to say this. Right before the show, you know, I got all these little videos. I'm pushing videos now because Instagram wants us to push these videos. Reels. They're called Reels. I think they're taking on TikTok. I think they're going to try and ban TikTok in this country. And they're like, look, just use our Instagram. We're already doing it. I don't think it'll ever happen, but I think that's the...
It's a logical path.
So I'm pushing them. And right before the show, somebody liked one of the Instagrams. And it's not even somebody I follow, but couldn't be more appropriate. Ray Parker Jr., as in the Ray Parker Jr.
Whoa.
Does that name mean anything to you?
Not really.
Who are you going to call?
Really?
Ghostbusters.
No way, that
yeah,
guy?
the real Ray Parker.
Whoa.
I know. Hilarious. It's really funny to me because I remember how much I geeked out the day that Crash Test Dummies followed me because I fucking love their music still to this day and grew up with it in high school. That's my high school jam.
It was a little all-encompassing.
Yeah, because like that's our life now, afternoons and coffee spoons. But it was the equivalent of like Spin Doctors or Blues Traveler or somebody being like, hey, I like your stuff.
It felt like a big deal.
All right. Oh, and then you brought up Tom Dreesen before, Mike. Shtickless
Yes,
Mike.
sir.
Mike with no shtick. Tom Dreesen sent a lovely message after my thank you to him and said some lovely things. But the hilarious part, he goes, if I had one critique, it was that my microphone kept popping. And he goes, yours didn't pop at all. He goes, and I asked him in my thing, I said, you know, we barely scratched the surface. I just let whatever happen. We didn't get much of a thing, you know, much of a get to know you. Please come back. And he said he had a great time. He'll definitely be back. But he said, he goes, next time, either I won't sit so close to it or I'll bring a pop filter for it. And I was like, What a pro. Like, he's like, first of all, I watched a few minutes of it back and I didn't notice any of that. I'm wondering if maybe he watched it on his phone and maybe it was popping.
I watched the whole thing.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't watch any of it back, like, because I didn't want to see it. But tell me what you thought of both what he said and the show in general.
It was a great show. It flowed and it was all inclusive. It felt like, but I didn't hear the pop.
Oh, good. It could have been the device he was listening to on. Either way, I'll figure it out. But I thought it was so cute that, like, that was the only thing he had as a critique, and the fact that he still gave it, like, to help us make the product better meant so much to me.
That's amazing.
Meant so much to me. And that he wants to take it upon himself to make it better in the future is even
Seriously.
better. Crazy, man.
That's a pro. You said it. Like, what a pro.
Before the cameras were rolling, I said something about something in here, and he just kind of made a face, and I was like, "What? I'm trying to make you nostalgic." And he goes, "I've been in this business 60 years or something like that." He goes, "I'm over nostalgia. Now I just want to stay in the moment." And I was like,
"Wow, yeah."
He's wise on top of being a pro. He's a wise old pro. Also, he told us his age afterwards, and I don't think it's a secret. I'm not going to repeat it just in case. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe it.
Blowing.
He's older than Dave by some margin. Couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I had no idea.
The man who was in here, you guys can't tell from whatever, through the ones and zeros, but the guy sitting here was physically fit and energetic and, like, ready to go.
I thought so too.
I wish I looked good that good now.
That's what I was trying to say. He was so much healthier than both of us.
He looks so good.
At almost double the age. Frig. Good stuff.
He's a good-looking, distinguished man.
Yeah. He also works very hard. I mean, he's so active. Oh, and then I asked him also to do the Cars and Comedy date at the Marconi, and while willing to do it, he is booked in the day and the night. Sounds like I'm going to tell a story here. In the day, in the night, in the dark, in a world. What did I say? What was I saying? He's doing. He is like us. Believe it or not, we are also. He's an ordained minister, and he's marrying someone that day, and then has a show that night. So, like, he's just such a great guy that he's marrying some cool people, and he's got a show that night.
I can't wait to see him again. What a good guy.
Same. I think it's hilarious that he's going to talk to Dave about the microphone situation. I think that's hilarious because I've already asked Mike to start we talked about it. I didn't ask him to, but we talked about it, and he's going to start incorporating the hey, do you remember this thing into his Letterman podcast with the ex-staffers to try to align whatever. We're all working together on this thing. It's one big entity.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yep.
With the intention of becoming one big entity, as a matter of fact.
We got big plans.
So cool.
Should we riffle and point? We spent enough time trying to figure out how the equipment works, and
before you riffle and point.
Oh yeah. What's up, buddy?
You love the crash test dummies?
Oh, of course. Should I not?
No, it's not that. It's that they're a Canadian band, right?
Oh, maybe I have the wrong band. No, that's right. Yeah, they're Canadian. I was thinking of Bare Naked Ladies is also Canadian. But yeah,
also
Crash Test Dummies I love. And they follow us, which is even cooler, so they like us too.
Love them. They did the remake of Ecstasy, the Ballad of Peter Pumpkinhead, and all sorts of amazing songs. But they're the band that small town Canadian towns had the Crash Test Dummies touring across the country in the 90s. I probably saw the Crash Test Dummies 15 times in community theaters and things like that. Bare Naked Ladies as well, but yeah, Crash Test Dummies is like a cult Canadian band.
That's wild. I mean, I guess I should have known that. For me, it was they were on in high school. That song was on in high school, and I fell in love with Afternoons and Coffee Spoons and some of the other ones they have. And then I think that might have been their second album. And then I found their first album, which was almost a little bit more, I hate to say country-ish, but kind of rockabilly. It had a little different twang to it, and I like that one just as much. Some great songs on that. But I don't know that I know any music of theirs beyond those two albums. So the fact that there is more.
Dino Superman song.
Oh yeah, but that's on.
That's on.
Was that the theme
album
from Scrubs?
It was a finale on ER, I think.
totally possible, but I didn't watch that show. There was a theme song to Scrubs that had Superman in it, and was that the Crash Test Dummies?
No, that wouldn't have been that one. I don't think. I don't. Superman song is
I
very
think you're
slow
both wrong.
and
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Okay, awesome.
Let's see. Theme to Scrubs. Superman. Laszlo Blaine.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
Laszlo
not
Blaine.
Superman's
I've never
song.
heard that name before in my life. Here, let's see what does that sound like. Oh, that's a commercial for something else. Come on, man. Quit being a jerk. Ah. I'm the worst. I don't know how to do anything. I don't know this song. This is ridiculous. Nothing. Thanks for tuning in. What's happening? Oh. Mike, it turns out you were right. It's definitely not the Crash Test Dummies for that song. Oh, I'm Your Superman. I'm Your Superman. He's got it. Oh! Yeah. Yeah. But that's on one of those two albums that I was talking about, because I have
on
that
the
song.
album. Yeah. That was probably their biggest song in Canada. That went #1 on Canadian MTV.
Do you know who started Canadian MTV?
Much Music? No, I don't.
Her uncle.
Nicole's uncle started Much Music?
No, Canadian MTV, right?
Canada. When MTV Canada came over. Okay.
Yeah. He started
amazing.
the Pop Network too, and he's the one who greenlit like Schitt's Creek and all the that show Schitt's Creek with Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara.
I worship that show. I love
that
show.
was, and that deal got made. He was here. He told us the whole story on the show, but that deal got done because Eugene Levy's kid, Zach. I want to say Zach Levy,
Daniel?
but that's Zach Levy. Say it again.
Daniel Levy?
Yes, of course. Thank you.
Yes.
Daniel Levy had worked with Uncle Brad Schwartz, in Canada on the MTV Canada or Fuse Network or whatever those things that he was starting up there. He started all those. And so that was why Dan then went to Uncle Brad and said, well, look, you took a shot on me way back when nobody would. I've got this show. What do you think? And he goes, I love it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he greenlit it, and it became Schitt's Creek, which ended up winning Emmys and making the Pop Network on the...
Put it on the map.
It put it on the map when they didn't necessarily want it to. And the moment it exploded, they were like, oh, no, put that away. Because if you recall, it used to be the TV Guide Network, which was just the scrolling guide all the time. And he took it over and made it a genuine network and put real shows on it, which is what they said they wanted. But then all of a sudden, it was like getting more press than CBS.
Can't have that.
Anyway, you brought up MTV Canada, and that's what I have to say about that. Paul Kennel tonight might be the night. Oh, hang on, look at this. Look at this. We got stuff here. Auto Kennel, hi. Oh, what the hell? It's him. I'm here. Zombies have their own technology issues too. Dead, not the answer. Oh, it's the night I wish I smoked pot on the air. $5 from Autocono. Here's some cash for Nicole snorting your stress by a jelly-filled donut. Hilarious.
Oh, I love Paul.
Jeff Daniels was in the Peter Pumpkinhead video. Is that right? Jeff Daniels from Dumb and Dumber and Speed and all those good the Newsroom. Now,
that Crash Test Dummy song was in Dumb and Dumber.
You're shitting me.
The battle
that Superman one?
The ballad the Ballad of Peter Pumpkinhead.
Oh,
which is an XTC cover.
This
Phenomenal
should be your
song.
show. Here, you take over because I really don't know what I'm doing tonight, and you're totally on your game.
I'm just along for the ride and happy to be here.
All right, well, everyone's going to watch this one and they're going to go, oh, that's the one where Jay was high as a kite and couldn't figure anything out. The truth is that is not accurate. I'm fine and can't figure anything out. Straight as an arrow.
Maybe we should change that.
And can't figure anything out. Say it again?
Maybe we should change that.
Oh, yeah. That's a great idea.
It's Tradecraft Thursday.
Yeah. Well, for her, here's some Tradecraft. There's the
For
one
everybody.
that I just threw the thing out, but Good Vibes was the thing. It said Good Vibes, gelato Good Vibes, but it's almost empty. So I have this other one here, but
Great.
but that's not trade crap. So whatever. All right, Riffle and Point, and that Porsche girl is here. Are you back in the U.S.? That Porsche girl? You had one hell of a trip doing the Millimilia, driving in the Millimilia. I'll get the phone book out for when we're ready to riffle and point.
Does Uncle Bob know Chris Elliott?
Does who? Uncle Bob?
Does
How do you
Uncle Bob know Chris Elliott?
Who's Bob? Wait, who?
Oh, I'm sorry. Wasn't that Nicole's uncle?
Oh, Uncle Brad.
Bob
Uncle Brad,
died
sorry.
in the 80s.
Shit, but it was just
Different. Brad.
he doesn't know that.
I apparently am letting everyone know because that's what I do now.
This is the best show ever.
For those paying attention at home, see, we're talking about Uncle Brad, but Canada says Uncle Bob, and coincidentally, Nicole once had an Uncle Bob, and Nicole then tells you, no, of course, Uncle Bob died. He died a long time ago. And no, how did he die? Because let's get let's bring the whole thing down.
Uncle Bob had AIDS, like whatever.
A long time before it was like
Wasn't cool
before
then.
before it was cool. Before it was like treatable and like, you know.
I'm the dick.
I think
I'm
that
owning
maybe
it
tonight
this
might
week.
not be the night to riffle and point. Maybe we'll riffle and point on Tuesday. I don't want anyone tuning into the rest of the show to catch the riffle and point. Oh my God. How do we riffle and point?
Oh,
Let's have it on Instagram. David Keynes. David Keynes. All right. Nope, not back yet. Porsche Girl is still in Europe. I love it. David Keynes, I had a great time talking to you the other night, and even though the subject matter was not wonderful, I just always enjoy spending time with you and time and space. And over the weekend, we didn't talk about this on Tuesday. Over the weekend, I went to a bunch of car stuff. We did GVBC on Friday, obviously. But then on Saturday, I went to, actually, we were invited to Morning Service Coffee, but it was an event put on by LA Car Spotter, Cody, who's been on the show as well. And it was a yellow car event. He was like, oh, come on, just come on over. Johnny's bringing the Rivian. And I was like, well, I want to check out that Rivian, but I'd come anyway. Don't worry about it. And it was really, really nice. It was great to hang out with Rami and, let's see, Manuel Correa was there. And who else was there? Steve was there. Get Behind the Wheel. And anyway, it was really great to see everybody and hang out, you know, someplace other than Breakfast Club because we haven't been able to do too much stuff these days. This was just me, as a matter of fact. And then later that night, Andrew Florin's Brentwood Ice Cream Social. Great to see everybody, which is where I saw David Keynes and caught up with Chris Florin as well and a handful of other people. Saw Tim Pappas there. I saw Tim and there was this whole tall guy section. It was Tim Pappas and it was Tommy Kendall and and then Howie Idelson, who's not tall at all, but he was over there too. Whatever. It was great to see everybody that I hadn't seen in a long, long time. And pre-Lifka Cult, too, because there's going to be a Lifka Cult again soon. So, whatever.
Cool.
Did we decide if we should riffle and point tonight or another night? My gut tells
I think
me
we
another
do
night.
it.
Oh, you do? Of course you do.
of
Oh,
course
yeah,
we do.
great.
Once more into the breach. Let's do this.
All right, what do we need here? Let's see, I need this. Let's see, hang on.
You should ask her if she's ever had a disaster show. We're in the middle of a disaster show.
Well,
She
I've
can
already
relate.
got it, but I've already got you mean just, call an audible, switch it up? Don't
Well,
ask the question I have planned? That's an
We
interesting
can
idea.
make a comment. We can make a comment that we're in the middle of a disaster show right now, and then ask the question anyway. You can do both.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You're
I'm
right.
just
I mean,
riffing
as an
too.
EP, I'm sure she's had a number of disaster shows, but as a good EP, she's probably wrangled them just fine, and they weren't disaster shows as a result. I bet they were thrown at her, but I bet she didn't allow that result like we do. Of course, she had someone on the other end of her phone that she could yell at and make some noise to. I hate it. Can you guys hear that? No.
Not me.
No, me neither. So what do we decide then? You got me riffling and pointing, but now we're debating whether or not to ask the. It's
I
already
think
too
we
deep.
tell her we're having a disaster show. Ask her if she has any advice. And if you want to ask your other question, do it.
It's yeah. I
It
hear
doesn't
you
feel
on
right.
that.
It doesn't feel right.
I hear you on that. It doesn't feel right because she's not there to answer the question. It needs to be a one you can just leave dangling. And I hate to admit that you might be right, and that somebody from that level could be watching this show. I wouldn't call it our best work. Not that far. But meantime, I have noticed a trend, which is why I didn't put too much stock in tonight. I have noticed a trend that after we do what one would consider a good show, I don't care about the viewership. That doesn't means nothing to me. But like result-wise of like quality hour and a half or whatever, I thought that Tom Dreesen one felt good, and I've heard a lot from a lot of other people that it was good. I just sort of was prepared for whatever happened tonight to not be. Oh, so maybe I manifested all of this. I got all my crazy numbers today, and I thought, why try to course correct? Just let the now what's happening? Let the thing just steer itself into the iceberg. Why not? David Keene said same here. I appreciate it. Sean Keeley, hello. Oh, and then you know what? Producer Mike, you had a comment from the Tom Dreesen show that you mentioned to me on the phone the other day. It was more personal, but if you feel like sharing it, I want you to know that I'm okay with it, but you don't have to. It's up to you.
Which comment are you talking about? I had quite a few of them.
Well, no, I mean, you were very specific about me, about you and me. Something Tom said during the show that you equated to you and me.
Oh my God. Well, hey, can I say this? Because if Nicole hasn't heard it, it'll be beautiful. When Tom Dreesen talked about how when he first met Dave and he started asking him all these questions and you know, where are you from and what baseball team did you cheer for, and asking him all these questions.
Tom put it, I came at him. He kept saying it over and over. I went at him. I came at him. I went at him.
Yeah. And not in a way that it was anything except for genuine and excited, not unlike a happy puppy, which I know a little bit about. Because that's how my personality is many times. And so, whereas Dave is more like a cat than a happy puppy.
Hilarious.
And Tom said, as he got to know Dave over the next couple of months, he realized, oh man, here's a guy who's like not used to people coming at him and is very shy and kind of gets a little standoffish about people coming at him. But because they were already friends,
he doesn't necessarily like it.
Yeah. But because they were already friends, that was okay. And this was just before the Instagram shut down. And as soon as he's telling that story, I'm grabbing the phone to put into the chat for our Instagram for the show. That's like Jay and me. I'm putting that in there.
Hilarious.
And then shortly after the Instagram shut down, and that was it. But yeah, and the other day when you and I were talking on the phone, I'm like, dude, I apologize.
He stopped everything. We just get on the phone. He stopped. He goes, before we do anything, I feel like I owe you a big apology. I was like, oh shit, what happened? You know, what did I miss?
Because I'm the happy puppy, and hey, let's talk about this and let's talk about that, and you and I have done that before.
Yeah,
but we get into an interesting wavelength when we do that, and it's not the norm. And when I start a conversation in that wavelength, it is not fair or appropriate. But I didn't know that. And when Tom said that, I said, God damn, there's Dave and I'm Tom right here.
I would love to be gracious and tell you that it's not true, but I mean, you're both dead on. I think that Tom has Dave. You know, they've known each other quite a bit now. They're not new friends anymore. But yeah, I feel like that assessment was probably right, and it is definitely right for me. But I told you on the phone, and I want to tell everybody else too. I said on the show, I was like, oh no, you know, I know what you mean by that, or something like that. I was not referring to you. I was not referring to anybody in particular. I was referring to just some people aren't aware of energy, you know. And we've brought that up on the show before. In fact, that's one of the things I want to thank everybody about. I mentioned the other day about some requests for modified behavior at Breakfast Club. Everybody's been amazing. It felt like all I had to do was mention it. So I just want to say thank you to everybody. Plus all this other shit. Auto Kennel has chimed in. I said this is not our best work. He disagrees. Thank you, Auto Kennel. I don't know what that says about who or what.
There are no talk shows who go this casual either. I maintain, and I will continue to maintain, that this is the most unique talk show out there because it is a combination. It's an orgy of all the different types of media together, and there's nothing like it. And this show proves just that. I love it.
Well, I maintain you sit too low.
Yeah. The studio's going to be
down there?
done soon. We're gonna be doing something for the studio here in the next 6 weeks. There's going to be some cool things that are done to make it.
I'm
look a
sure.
little bit
I know
more
you've
like
got a lot of
Playset
plans
more.
behind the scenes, but also don't make too many plans behind the scenes because who knows what might happen in the future. Okay, he knows what I'm talking
Yes.
about.
Well, this I can say.
There's a lot of shit we
have
can't say.
we have a documentary that is potentially being made on what we're doing up here called The Unlikely Host of the Letterman Podcast. And with that is a bunch of money that will come in to be spent on production. So I'll have a much better camera setup. I'll have lots of cool things. The bridge will be put up and lit and all that kind of stuff. And hopefully, as that documentary kind of unfolds, the things you're talking about that we can't talk about start to become something we can talk about, because then we can take that documentary and we can do some much bigger things with it. And I've just made it sound even more ambiguous, haven't I?
Yeah, I love that you're attaching a lot of weight to the documentary because I did the exact same thing when we first started. It seemed like the be-all, end-all. It seemed so important. It seemed like that was going to be the fulcrum, the hinge point that gets us to something else. And it turns out that I was wrong about that, but it might be right for you. I'm still excited that yours is actually happening because you said it might be happening, and I think it's actually happening. I mean, you've gotten approvals and stuff. While they might not be shooting fully yet, like your wheels are in motion and your thing's actually happening.
Without a doubt.
And I'm excited for all the things that it is that it's going to be for you. Yeah, you're right about the tease. I mean, some people love tease. We seem to live in a world where people love the tease. Now you're supposed to tease it out and portion it out into 6. I don't know. I feel both ways about that. I know some old schoolers are not into it, and I kind of lean that way too. But at the same point, I mean, we're doing this for young people, right? And not just the old people. So we kind of have to split the difference.
Telling people we're working on things isn't necessarily a bad thing, especially when we're coming through with already a bunch of quality work. And to tell our audience that we're working on bigger things or things that'll add a dimension to what we're doing ain't necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah,
but this,
I agree. That's
yeah.
also not a tease the way you just said that. I didn't feel that was teasing at all. I felt that was almost building value in perceived value, at least in what's happening. Like a business, you would want to go around to other. Look, this is what we're working on. It's going to be great. We're not there yet, but obviously everyone's showing up every day. We're going to get there.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And again, with that documentary, the thing that I love about it is going to get me a new-ish studio, like a much shinier. And you have given me the goal. Like, oh my God, look what this could be. And I'm
you want
not
this?
Gonna,
you can have this one. I'm almost over it.
Whenever
you have to move to
talk
California,
like that,
but
I
if
don't
you
even
take over
respond.
this lease, you can have this studio.
Whenever you talk like that, I don't even respond. When
And
you
the
say stuff like
sofa-sized
it's
art
like,
that comes
oh my
with
God.
it.
Studio 60 back there. I am really excited for what's coming, and you've given a great incentive and thing that can be done. You guys have really inspired a lot of people, myself included.
I appreciate you saying that. We clearly have inspired people to do this sort of thing because before COVID, everyone, people, when we first did this, people thought we were really nuts, and it has been a ramp down for how nuts and how on the money we were. I don't know how to do the metric side of things, which actually it turns out you're pretty good at. So I feel like in the end, we've been hanging out together doing this little thing for, I don't know, call it 6 months now, but that's really very new and fresh, especially since we've really only started working on the things together recently. I feel like to some people this might seem like a long road because we've been paving it for 4.5 years with this little show. But now that more people are getting involved, it's starting to go faster and faster and more. So I don't know.
Yeah.
less of a tease and more of like a get on board, I think is probably the better way to look at it for people out there.
Well, and there's a lot of room for people because as everybody knows, extreme weaknesses over here with a few strengths. You guys can say the same thing, and we can't wait to bring people who complement our weaknesses with their strengths. And how amazing will it be? Like I marvel at what you and Nicole do on your own. Like it's crazy. There's a handful of people that could ever be the jack of all trades that do what you do. It'll be so nice to have teammates.
Yeah, but the argument could easily be made that why would anybody? You know what I mean? Like that you shouldn't do it one person. I mean, I would make the argument that I would like to have 2 more bodies here.
Yeah.
You know, on a daily basis. I mean, we don't have a real budget for a show with, you know, all that. If someone were to all of a sudden be like, you know, hey, listen, we like what you're doing. What other ideas do you have to see where this goes? Like, is this it? Is this your vision, or is there more? Like, you know how much more there is. Mm-hmm. If they were to say, well, you know, let's throw you a little stipend and incubate you for a little bit and see what you do, and then maybe we could, if we like it, use our momentum,
vast resources, I think,
to all of a sudden put it into the pipeline once it's good enough. I mean, that would be the best case scenario. Yeah. For all of us. And you know, I love it. I feel like I'm in a job interview, and I promise I'll work real hard, and I'll show up on time every day. And did I say I'd work hard? Because I'll definitely work hard.
Well, we have a living example right now. Is if you had 2 more bodies in the room that were working on the Instagram and the camera angles and all that, you know, you look at the Dreesen episode. And the other comment that I made was, you just look like you got lost in it within fascination. You were so present and involved in that conversation, that moment. The 3 of you were. It wasn't even just you. It was the 3 of you that were. And nothing else mattered around you. If you had people who were taking care of some of those things around you, you could do that every show.
Agreed. Yeah. I appreciate you saying that. I mean, that was very high praise. Thank you, first of all. And then now I'll agree with the technical aspects of like, oh, if I just had the help. The episode where we had the Stiglet here, the intern, where he was, you know, it was your haircut episode. There was like, it was Calamityville. Stuff was happening all the time. It was a total wing it because the timing didn't work out for anything, and we just threw everything together. We had the comedy going on that night. Full house, tons of people. Somehow the show I thought was better because we had that, you know, the handheld camera over there, the Stiglet being able to do that. Having the extra bodies to be able to, like, just having Damon here as a stagehand to be able to move the stool out, get the microphone stand in, like all the different things. That one felt like a real show for the opposite reasons. Nothing we were doing presenting-wise was professional or real. But behind the scenes, it felt like we had a crew. There was a support system. Yeah. Everybody was doing stuff. They all had jobs. And it was really, really cool. Then the counterpoint, of course, is the Dreesen episode where, like, oh, the content was really good, but there was zero show. We didn't do anything else that episode. We just sat and talked. And, yeah, whatever. So, you know, maybe a balance of all that stuff in the future, I think, is where it's at.
Absolutely. Also, Bavaria 911 is back.
Oh, good. Where was he?
There we go. I have no idea. But he has proclaimed that he is back.
Oh, you know what? That's fantastic. Welcome back, buddy. In the meantime, speaking of stuff that's back, tell you about. Well, I did it wrong. I'm showing it to you first, but let me tell you how I got that yellow car. Look at this. It's our yellow car. It's not our yellow car, but it's a yellow car of the same style and variety. There was a knock at the door today, and I thought that was odd. So I was like, whatever it is, they'll leave it and go away. And they didn't. They knocked again. And I thought, oh, that's weird. Okay, so I went over and opened it up, and it was Gilbert. Gilbert is the, we live in a condo property here, and he's like the, maintenance guy's not the right word, but like the groundskeeper. You know what I mean? He cleans the place. He keeps the plants watered. He's not the pool guy, but like you know what I mean? He just kind of, he's always working around the place. And coincidentally, he also does Lynn Woodward's place. She doesn't live too far from us, and she's a frequent guest and a friend. It was weird how that all came together. But so he knocks on the door, and he's all nervous looking, and I'm like, oh geez, he either has bad news for, like, I don't know if he dinged the car, I don't know what's going on here, or if he just wants to tell me that somebody, I don't know. But he was very like shy, and oh hey Jay, he said, so I was leaving here the other day after we talked, and I said, yeah, okay. Oh, and he's a huge car guy. Forgot to mention, he's a huge car guy, so he knows who we are, not from the building, but because of life. He knows the Smoking Tire. He sees whenever Magnus is here, he sees him, Johnny Lieberman, stuff like that. So he goes, when I left the other day after talking to you, I was driving through Burbank, and I was like, okay, what's going on here? And he's got his hands behind his back. I don't see this thing. And he goes, and I went to this yard sale, and I was like, okay. I'm like, whoa. And he goes, and I saw something, and somebody else went for it, but I got it first, and I talked to the lady, and she said whatever, and he goes, anyway, I got this for you, and he, from behind his back, and he goes, he gives it to me.
It's so cute.
And I was like, Gilbert, are you serious? And he was like, yeah. I was like, this is a gift? You're giving this to me? He's like, yeah. I go, that is so nice of you. I mean, it's a used car from a tag sale. It's not about the money.
So thoughtful.
The fact that he saw it and goes, oh, that's Jay. I got to get that for Jay. And then went and paid money for it. Meant the world to me. Thank you, Gilbert. Super, super cool. I love it as much as I love this one that Pinstripe Chris made himself, because it is the thought that counts. It blew me away.
I think so, too.
Now we'll have to ask Pinstripe Chris to paint this one. Sorry. Looks a little plain, doesn't it? All right. Okay. All right. I am not going to talk about this tonight. Know what that is? I'm not going to talk about it. That is the Dino paperwork.
Oh my God!
Remember why I said I
Area
didn't.
911 just asked about it.
Remember why I said I didn't want to talk about it? Remember I said why I didn't want to reveal it before? That was the reason. But all's well. All's well. Had a great day at the Dino today. Lovely. Anytime you have a morning at Ed Pink Racing is a good morning. This will be the first plot for our Cars and Coffee, although I don't think we decided not to do the audience seating because it's going to be meal service, so it will be round tables like the Golden Globes.
Cool.
I think the idea behind that was this is becoming a little nicer and fancier than we had originally anticipated, and they are going for high ticket. They're going after a very affluent audience down there.
Great.
But it sounds like it's going to be very nice, and White House is a very nice restaurant down in, what is it, Laguna, Costa Mesa? Anyway, White House, great restaurant down there, and they will be doing the food for us.
I'm so excited.
I just realized it doesn't have a driver's mirror. There's a passenger mirror, but no driver's mirror. It's hilarious. I love it. I thought it might be right-hand drive, but it's not. Okay, and then now, so we made some new friends at Avance as well. Avance is a new magazine. It's a new club. I don't know exactly what it is, to be honest with you, but the guys are really nice, and they sent us some stuff and a free membership. I already signed up with them, and there is going to be this is it, the launch party, and I think the tickets that we have were for members, so I don't know how this works, but I think it might be open to the public as a pay event. But it's their launch party's at the Peterson on July 23rd, 6 to 10 p.m. So go to the website and check that out. Find out. I don't know. Maybe Instagram's the way to go. Avance on Instagram. Check it out. But we'll be there. We'll be there at the grand opening launch party. I'm sorry.
Great.
I'm sorry.
See you there.
This is the type of show that'll make you start drinking again. All right. Oh, now, okay. Here we go. Look at this. We haven't talked about this in a while. Why? Stuff's been out of stock. But I think David and Alex have been hustling. Every day the hustling. Sorry. And we got the GVBC merch. So the shirt I'm wearing, I don't need to unfold this one, but there's a 111 as well.
I love that shirt.
Peace,
it's
love,
so
and good
comfortable.
vibes. And the other stuff, too. Sticker packs and buttons, hats. There's all sorts of stuff. And there will be more in the future. Dualshift.com or at Dualshift on the Instagram. And the dual is DUEL, as in more than two, as in two, not like a duel. On guard. All right.
I think of that every time I see that name because I think of you explaining to me how things work, and
Mansplaining?
I like when you do it sometimes. That's one of those.
Keywords sometimes.
Yeah. I've thought about this a lot. It's not just men and women that's easy to point at, but like everyone does that with something they think they know more about sometimes. They over explain, and I'm guilty of it.
I think you're right, and I think what it comes down to is, you start at a playing field where you think you might know something with someone, and then they say something, and you go, "Oh shit, you don't have any idea what the hell I'm talking about. Do we want to get on the same page? You have to sort of have that agreement or not, and then if you do, then you have to sort of lay it all out.
Yeah.
You got to do a primer, lay out the primer.
Yes, and sometimes people don't always do that. Segura's got a great bit about checking into hotels. Everyone thinks he's Japanese because of his name, and so he has that conversation.
Oh, Segura! Whoa, hilarious!
People
of course,
do that
never
all the
occurred to
time
me.
him. He's like, no,
Japanese.
but I'll blow your mind. There's people there that look like that, like you think they do, and speak other languages.
It was just 2 years yesterday since he died, but our friend Grant Imahara, Segura Imahara, like they do have the same kind of a... Huh. Well, I mean, you with the Shabbat, everyone thought you were Jewish, even though it was spelled not even remotely the same.
Yeah. I was in Michigan. Someone said it, and I was in a Jewish dorm.
You were in a Jewish dorm?
It was referred to colloquially as the East Coast Jew dorm. But yes.
Sounds like a happening place.
Well, you know who else went to her same school was Tom Keeney. Did you know that?
Proof that it was. Yeah, you told me that.
I'm sorry, what?
So Bavaria 911 is very much wanting you to talk about the Dino. So this is kind of funny that you said you're not going to. But then he commented, so the HP rating was 111?
Yeah, it was a little bit more than 111. No, the rating was fine. And, we never had an issue with power on the car. If anything, I've said this before, if anything, I kind of wouldn't mind if we didn't have an S, if we had just a regular Carrera, the 3.6 versus the 3.8, solely because of a little bit less power. But every time I say that, I think about the torque that the S makes, and I probably second guess myself. But regardless, I'm not chasing horsepower. We didn't do this mod to get any more power. I don't need more power. Our car is fast enough. We don't do the type of driving that requires horsepower or more power. We go around curves faster than you can imagine. You know what I mean? We bend your face off with G's versus 0 to 60 from this light to the next one. Like, nothing irritates me more than that. Not other people doing it. I have a blast. I just so not my jam. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. But meanwhile, they probably feel the same way about what I do. Why would you want to go up to the same mountain road every single week? Do we even want to do what you're watching, or is this the literal nothing show where we didn't do dick? And we reminisced about the Tom Dreesen episode from 2 days ago, and that was fun. Pretty sure everyone saw me lose my mind on the air tonight, so I like that. That's good. It means I can be more me in the future, which is good for the show. Not more of me. Don't misunderstand. I can be more me. There won't be more of me. None of us can afford that. Mostly me. Yeah, the viewer mail. I showed you that. We did that. Avance. I'm really kind of into this Avance thing because it sort of snuck up on me. Other ones I sort of knew what they were having. Oh, it's 6 months, and then they roll out, and then look at that, great job. Motoring company stuff like that. This one kind of snuck up on me. And it's good quality. I like it.
Yeah, seems that.
I thought at first, there was like it was 000 magazine, and then there was and forgive me, I don't have the order right on these. These are the order in which I became aware of them. But there's 000 and there's Type 7, and these are these high quality periodicals. Motoring Journal just came out. That one's excellent. And then this Avance. I feel like what I always wanted might actually be happening, where people are making quality again. Damn the perceived value of what that will be in business. Simply doing it will then get you more business because people want to be involved with that quality.
Yeah.
And I have been saying that this would happen for a very long time, and I have been wrong for a very long time as it's taking longer and longer to happen. But I feel like the Earth might be changing that direction. Everybody can do everything now, right? Like we can all make movies with our iPhone and whatever. So what sets you apart is how good you are at it? I'm asking. I don't know.
I think so. And I remember that sentiment from magazines a long time ago. So I get what you're saying.
What do you think?
Feels like a cycle to me. I liken this to music quality. There was a long time where people, the quality of music was everything, and you could get CD players that were like $5,000 because
Oh,
it
the
was just
fidelity
that
of
much
the
better.
yes.
Fidelity, yes. And then suddenly MP3 came out, and nobody gave a shit about quality anymore because of the convenience of it. And now we have the quality of MP3 going up and up and up and up and up again because it's now cycling back to that is the important thing.
I agree with you. And Neil Young was big in that one, right?
Homo,
He came out
absolutely.
with that Pono player that was different
Yeah.
than the iPad or iPod because it would play higher. Whatever, they weren't MP3s. They were
Studio
It was
quality.
still a digital file, but it was like a FLAC file or something.
Black file, yeah. Yep.
And that seemed like a ridiculous idea because it was like $1,000 when an iPad was $200 or something like that, and the music
Yep.
was expensive. It seemed like it would make no sense. Yet, that's exactly what I want now: a Pono player.
And it's happening. It's if you look at what they're doing to raise the quality, like Apple Music has added a bunch of things. Spotify's talking about it as well. They're trying to get that quality up now. And so, like I said, I think it's a cycle.
There can't be a coincidence. I mean, there's nothing about this show that Spotify would have wanted from a metric standpoint when they invited us into that pilot program when they were launching video. So it had to be solely the fact that we were doing they were looking at the quality and go, oh, that's a big data file. I like what they're
Yes.
whatever. And I don't mean like a person. I mean like maybe even the computer, right?
Yeah.
Like an algorithm.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like I look at my show and the size of the video files versus when we recorded yours, the size of the video file, and it's because of the quality. And I'm like, get me some more hard drive space. I want what you guys have.
Should we talk about that? Because once again, I forgot about it as I've blocked it from my memory. Is that happening? Oh, fuck me. Is that happening tomorrow?
I'm hoping that one goes up tomorrow. I've still got some editing and things to do.
Yeah.
And whatnot. But
I cut a lot of stuff out, I hope.
nothing's getting cut out of when you and I started and stopped the show.
Really?
I just need to organize. Oh, absolutely not. You were phenomenal on the show, and you're not going to take that. You can go crawl under the desk if you want.
Felt
It's
very
the Kathleen
self-conscious.
Anchors. No.
I feel very self-conscious since doing it, and I had that file on the computer. So people don't know this. I did an episode of his Letterman podcast the other day, but we did it from here since it's virtual. He's in Canada, so I ran the production from here. So he's got basically late night playset file, whatever you understand. I was incredibly self-conscious when I thought about the stuff that I talked about because I feel very vulnerable. But I didn't watch it back, and I don't really plan to.
Do you feel? Yeah, of course you're not going to.
I might, but I don't know.
First off, if there was anybody who is going to do a Kathleen Anchors tribute episode, proxy episode to do with her, I want it to be you. And a big chunk of our conversation was that.
Okay.
So that part, I hope in a million years, as self-conscious as you are, I hope that part there, it's a gimme. You're like, no, that's good. Because you talked a lot about her. And I appreciated that very much. So that part was fine, right?
She was a nice lady. Yeah, I still consider myself very whatever. She's still special to me, even though she's been dead 20 years. Literally.
Yeah. Okay. And then we went down the path a little bit talking about Leno. And I thought
my God, I forgot.
I thought that's what you were referring to. Are you kidding me?
No, I forgot how No, I just felt that I got vulnerable. You know what I mean? I don't want to show anybody your belly. I completely forgot that we talked about Leno and that I got very candid about Leno. Boy, this is going to be a good show. I might want to see that part back because I don't remember what I said. I know. Hang on. I do remember. I remember that a lot. This is ridiculous. We could do this off the air. I remember saying, look, in just a couple hours, you'll be able to see this episode on the Letterman podcast channel. I do remember that this was on the heels of I just watched your Daniel Kellison episode in preparation to do your show. So, because he had talked about Leno, and we are trying to get Daniel Kellison, and we have had Leno, there is a very interesting triangle there that I'm not explaining, that you would have to see these episodes to see how he feels about it and whatever, that led me to then want to talk about it with you. But I don't think I intended for, just like this, for any of it to go on as long as it did. That seems to be my MO.
And yet it did.
Start over here. I'll get you here, but like we're gonna go through Jurassic Park, maybe some other places.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. And
Well,
again,
it's your show.
you're teasing in a good way about when Kellison comes and sits on your set, because that is going to be a phenomenal show.
Oh, I hope so, but only because I think
you
we
guys
were going to
talk
talk
about
about Leno, right? Is that what we decided?
That's what I mean. Yeah, like that was my comment. I would love to see you and Daniel
Now I
Kellison
remember how it started. Now I
talk that
remember how it
out
started.
on your set.
This is where you're a good interviewer, because I remember how it started. All I said was, and because I just watched your Kellison interview, I want the record to show that the people wanted Jay Leno here. We specifically had been saying no for like 3 years, and then because everyone's like, well, are you going to get Jay Leno? You should probably get Jay Leno. And I think everyone thought that we couldn't, and we always didn't do it because we knew we could. And then and we felt that Dave should be here, whatever, you know, the whole thing. But I remember saying to you on the show, like, that was I wanted to clear the air in case Daniel Kellison watched my episode of your show. Oh, it's crazy how I turn into that little kid again. Oh, check it out. Oh, my God.
You did not do that with Dreesen, though. You did not turn into that little kid with Dreesen. I don't think, anyway, unless you were inside. I thought that was an example where you didn't turn into that little kid.
It was rough.
Okay, never mind.
None of that was
Well
ezy.
done.
Yeah,
You faked it well, man.
composure is a funny thing, isn't it?
You did great.
No, if anyone likes the Dreesen episode, I credit Tom Dreesen. It's as simple as that. I mean, we were here for it, and I shut up for once, for the most part, to listen to what he had to say. He's just amazing. I mean, he was such a giver. He's so generous. That's why that show was good.
I would say the same thing about Dreesen on my show. The episode version that we did, if anybody likes those episodes, it's because of Tom Dreesen. I would say the exact same thing. He's phenomenal.
How long did you talk to him? Because you did a 2-parter there, right?
It's like 2.5 hours.
Amazing.
Yeah. And there was lots of meat on the bone at the end too. He was like, "Oh, I got to go somewhere, otherwise I'd keep going."
That's hilarious.
All right.
That's hilarious. I'm so excited that he said, he'll come back. Just tell me when.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Kayla Marzo here says Dave should do a My Next Guest on You. Ah, thanks, Kayla Marzo. I mean, the whole point of that show is that the guests don't need an introduction, and my introduction would have to be so many pages long for them to understand who I am, why I'm on this show, that I don't see it happening. But perhaps in the future there will be another place where you could see that type of conversation, and man, do I hope it happens. I mean, why doesn't Dave just do a podcast at this point?
Mm-hmm. And
I mean,
we
Dave
both
can do
talked
whatever-
to a
Dave
guy
can do
who's
whatever
been
he
trying to get him
wants.
to do it.
Say again?
We've both been talking to a guy lately who has been trying for years to get him to do it.
I know. That's what. You don't have to expose our conversation to the people. I'm trying to have a real conversation with you here now. Why doesn't
Fair enough.
Dave do a podcast?
Yeah. And don't talk about the past, just talk about now and the future and things that are going on. I think a lot of people expect that Dave
Why
would
does he put so many?
want to
why do you-
reminisce.
It can be whatever he wants.
Yeah, but no. I think the reason, to answer the question, why he doesn't do one, I think that he thinks that people expect that he would talk about the past.
Ah.
And that's not a thing he likes to do.
Oh.
That's why
I see
not.
your
I'm answering
point.
the question.
Yeah, I see your point. I guess to this day, I don't agree with. I can't find two people who agree with what a podcast is, because in my opinion, it's the opposite of a broadcast. This is, what I do is more broadcasting because that's what I know how to do, even though we have a podcast format. I'm saying wide things to a broad audience that gets filed down into this stupid little funnel that we have here on YouTube. A podcast generally is like, oh, this is the topic we're talking about. We're going to only talk about this. Here's the audience that's only interested in this, and that's what we do. Knitting or baseball cards, Letterman, whatever it happens to be. When we first sat down to do this at the dining room table and did a couple shakedowns of figuring out how and what, we couldn't keep it to anything because we wrote down like, oh, well, what are the interests? Oh, you got your cars, you got your comedy, you got your history, whatever, movie business stuff, pop culture, whatever. We're all of those damn things. We're too damn confusing. Why are we talking about this? Oh, podcast. So, I think a podcast, I think it's just a show. I think people are thinking, but the fact that people are still attaching to, oh, that's not what a podcast is. A podcast is this. I think these days it's just a show. You have a show. You decide what your show's like. Do you want it to be like TV? Do you want it to be like radio? Do you want it to be like Tom Green? Do you want it to be like Letterman? Whatever. Seems like everybody just wants to have a morning radio show is what it's. Everybody wants to be Opie and Anthony or Howard Stern is what it seems like to me. But 3 or 4 people at a table and then just fucking shoot it out about whatever. And I don't know. That seems to be the popular model at the moment.
Well, certainly Rogan, who's the biggest podcaster in the world, has elements of that. But then he'll bring on somebody who is a scientist and has a conversation. Like they go all over the place with everything. I think Rogan is general. But he has elements of a lot of those recognizable
he is
things.
Now.
That's true.
In the beginning, he was niche-y, and it was UFC and weed and, higher thinking and Graham Carlson, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think now he's, everyone equates him to the Johnny of today just because of the viewership and the sheer numbers.
Yes.
So I think you're right. It's become very broad. Now there's celebrities on. It used to just be him and his friends.
So did that happen because of the audience? Because he gained an audience that he could do whatever he wanted, and he just would have a fringe type guest every once in a while from the norm, and people like that, and it just evolved into that? Or do you think it was orchestrated in any way?
I could only use my own experience here to possibly, and I would say that it's just natural progression, growth. Mm-hmm. And I don't necessarily mean metric growth. I mean growth organic. Of he was hanging out with his friends in the beginning and they didn't know what they were doing, and as he got the viewership and got better at the job and started doing a couple a day and getting serious about it, and I feel like he grew into a pretty damn good host. He's still not my favorite ever, but I mean what he's achieved and what he's doing is amazing. I'm so impressed by it. I understand why everyone sort of uses him as the kind of the model these days, like we use Johnny or Dave or whatever. I get it. And we still watch and listen to when there's somebody on. Back in the day, when it was still underground's the wrong word, but before it was $100 million, maybe
before it was mainstream,
maybe 2 to 3 years before it was $100 million mainstream, was like my happy place, 5, 6 years ago, and I wouldn't miss one. I mean, I would listen, all 3 hours, whatever. I'd have to portion it out over whatever, but I would listen to all of them or watch them in bed at night or whatever. We would do that. And then I don't know, like anything else, you sort of, I don't know. I feel like it's natural progression. Long answer.
Yeah. The thing I love about Joe is his curiosity. His curiosity. And I think that's you.
He's always willing to learn. He's
well.
always improving day to day. He's expanding at all times. That to me is a great host. I want to be more like that in life. I think I'm pretty good already, but there's moments where, oh wow, you were really shut off to whatever so and so was saying, and I don't want to be that way. I want to be more open. So he's a good
naturally curious.
Yeah, you're that way too.
When I'm excited about something, absolutely. I want to know everything about it. I want to talk to people and ask questions that just come up organically. And thank God, many times people say, oh, that's not a question I've heard very much. And that seems to be a piece of magic When I get that in an episode from somebody, whether it's during the broadcast or shortly after, I'm learning to take that as like the greatest compliment that I can take now.
For sure, but I still say that like you're already interested in that subject matter. That's easy for you. You're not. It's not talent. I think you are good at being open to hearing things you might not necessarily be interested in. You still have this, maybe not the same intensity with the curiosity, but you're still there and open to listening it. Sometimes I have a habit of, I already know I'm not interested in that and I don't want to hear it. I won't be that quite as cut and dry, but I'm good.
Yeah.
I'll see you at the next pass at this party. You know what I mean? Like, next guy.
Let's see what else is here.
No, I just mean that we've gotten to a place. That's maybe how it used to be in life. No, I used to be. In fact, in old life, we were very happy being just wallflowers, invisible people. Nowadays, there's other people who want to talk to me. So, like, if one guy is whatever, I then have the feeling of like, well, then the next guy. That's a weird like like people are asking for my autograph. Like there's a line of people. If anything, it's more like Airplane, where one guy's got a gun and a hammer and This is what I'm talking about. You get me too open and too vulnerable and too speaking freely that I end up saying things that I don't necessarily even mean, and they're questionable.
That part is the part that just, for whatever reason, that happens with me. I don't know why.
I know.
I don't think I'm charming or disarming, yet at the same time, I've been accused of being disarming so many times this last year since I started HeCast. I can't tell you how many times people have said, you're so disarming that I'm suddenly talking about things I never in a million years would have talked about. I'm doing it with a camera in my face. I don't know why that's happened.
Oh, I think I've got your move down. You want me to tell you what I think it is? I think I think you get so enthusiastic about whatever that they're like, oh, okay, and you get them up to that fucking place, and then you disappear. You just go, and then it's up to them to like keep the hamster wheel going or not, but it's natural to want to keep it going. I think that's your move, and I've seen you do it with me a number of times on the phone and otherwise.
Now.
No, I mean it's it's business wise and like negotiating. It's very good. Oh yeah, well here's the price.
A little bit of inside baseball there too.
Have you had time to think about it? Because I mentioned what the price was, right? Who does that sound like? Don't say. Don't answer that. Don't answer that question.
Baseball there.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean,
I love you guys. Hey, okay, you're not doing What You Watching right now. I screwed up with Better Call Saul. I didn't realize they were gonna have 5 episodes and then like a 2-month break and then start the 5 episodes to finish it off. Oh man.
So you got to sit on that now, huh?
Well, no, the first of the last just started.
Yeah.
And so,
but I mean, you started it already.
Yeah.
So you've been sitting on that.
I was until Monday night, and now I'm like, oh, I can't wait to talk about this with people.
Oh no! So you're Oh Jesus Christ! So you're all right. I feel like you buried the lead a lot too. So you're going episode to episode now. You're not.
Now
binging.
I am.
Yeah.
That wasn't the plan, but now.
No,
I am.
I'll never do that with Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul, Mad Men. Nothing of that cinematic quality where it's like the storytelling's so good. Lost was the last show I did that with. Previously on Lost. Woohoo!
We all had to. Yeah, that was. We've never talked about that before. Did you love, hate, indifferent to how Lost ended?
Oh, the end?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I don't know what else they would have done. I still love it. Awesome. I still love it to this day. I mean, I cry through it. I love it.
Me too.
We always say I want to watch Lost again, but you know what a effing commitment that is. The first season is like 27 episodes or something. It's 25, I think, and then the last ones are only 18 each or something like that. We're so used to the 10 episodes now that like it's such an investment.
Yeah,
much
the
time.
10 episode happy medium that we've reached, because I think that 6 was too short, and that's what the British do. But 21 is too long. I think the 10 is a happy medium.
For me, it depends on the story. To me, you cannot.
Sure.
To me, this is the problem with Netflix and Amazon and everybody else. They're going, oh yeah, we need 10 parts. Like, well, you don't even know what the thing is. How do you know you need 10 parts of it? You might need
Yeah.
3.
Right.
You might need 1. You might not need any. You might need 20. I don't know. Somebody unplug me. Hey, can I tell you about this? Holy crap!
Whoa,
Woo-wee!
that's vibrant.
Oh boy! Did it do anything? It shot out of there
Yeah.
like a cannon, I'll tell you that. Woo-wee! No, all right. Nothing? Oh, there it is. Wrong camera. Woo! Shoot it again. There we go. There it goes. You see it? It's
Yeah.
weird how you don't see it when it goes up, and then it just shows up in the room. Anyway, Amazon sent a new smoke machine, so we're good there. Gotta return the other one. And it's a great time to tell you who's paying for this mess. What's my hair doing? My hair's doing something crazy now. I saw it sticking up, but I keep fixing the wrong side. What's happening? I look like Conan. Stop that. Which way is it going? Wait, what's happening? This is awful. Oh, my God. How is it? Is it this? No, it's this side. How could it be that side? What's happening up here? Why is it all twisty? Oh, my God. Now we need hair and makeup. Add it to the list. Boy, it's quite a storm in here now, isn't it? With the air conditioning and the fog.
Yes, sir.
And the laser light show that isn't showing up on TV as well. Call the LAFD. I love it. They say, this will be good for the podcast listeners. They say all which separates men and boys is the coverage for their toys. Today we're talking about what types of toys?
Collector cars.
Sure, that's right. Licensed in most states, St. Clair Insurance shops top providers so you get the most coverage for your toys. This shit show of a show has been brought to you by St. Clair Insurance. Do us a favor and please go check them out. We don't want them to stop writing checks. Dear Lord, then what we do. Simply go to www.coverageforyourtoys.com. Coverageforyourtoys.com.
Coveredforyourtoys.com.
Ahmad Qureshi. Anyway, he says, the way you said call the LAFD sounded exactly like Seinfeld. LMAO.
He's referring to Bavaria. Bavaria made a comment earlier.
But I said it.
Sure.
Call the LAFD. And when he, what are you explaining it to me?
Sorry about that.
I'm so glad. I'm actually really glad. Oh. This episode has been brought to you in part by Series 1 Films. Series 1 Films helps automotive brands create engaging cinematic content for social media and advertising to grab and hold your ideal customer's attention. Check them out at series1films.com. Boy, this new thing is amazing. This is some stuff. Series1films.com. Series1films.com.
Series1films.com.
And if you talk to either Taylor from Series 1 Films or Jeff St. Clair from St. Clair Insurance, make sure you drop them a note that says, oh, and Nicole says hi, because most times
I cannot.
this is how we kid. Meanwhile, oh, here I go, throwing up my mouth again. Excuse me. Speaking of our friends, Speaking of our friends, where are they? Where the hell is he? Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. Series 1 Films. Looks like this. Come on up to Good Vibes. Here's what it looks like. Yeah. Look at this. Looks like a freaking Who concert in here. Look at
It's
this.
still so smoky in here.
I know. Why is that. I didn't do that much stuff. It just shot it right out there. The old one used to not shoot it very far, and it would just kind of, there was some clouds of smoke that would kind of be here, and then they would go away. This seems to be full, full rock show, like haze fluid. Maybe we've got a different. Maybe this is a haze machine. When for the lasers and everything. I mean, This is what it looks like in here. This is ridiculous. Yeah, you need this in Canada, man. Get your documentary to fund you a laser light show. Ahmad Qureshi says, I can only sit here and wonder what that fog was composed of. Hilarious, yeah. So how's the suspension system in Yellow Car in the Twisties? Amazing in the Twisties. Amazing up there. It is a little rough around town, and we are chasing some noises that just are atrocious. TLG calls it stickture. Stickture, meaning like basically the suspension's so tight that like whatever, metal on metal kind of stickture. Well, we don't like it. It is what it is. But meanwhile, at speed, it's amazing. So like, it doesn't take away confidence in the car. It just makes it feel whatever. Anyway, we're working on it. It's not anything TLG did. It's just like the way parts work together and the way things are sometimes. Oh, good. This is Mike's telling me, okay, good. You got the wrong IG on. I'm getting a message from 90 minutes ago. Can we sign off now? Please.
Well done, everybody.
Haze, it should work out. Haze, purple haze. Yeah, it's not purple haze, but maybe it should be. Maybe we should all get loaded up in here. The Andy Schultz is here. Shit, you missed a hell of a show, man. Gonzilla is here. TRJ. Oh, to a small group of us, you don't need one. I love it. I love everybody. I love to everybody. Is this it? Did we do it? Are we good, Canada?
Oh yes. And then some, and then some, and then some.
Right. So your episode, my episode of please tune in tomorrow to the Letterman Podcast Network, where my episode will be featured with Canada
Sure will. And Jay will be under the desk. I promise.
Yeah. What are we talking? We talk about Jay Leno, Kathleen Ankers, and a lot more. Right?
Yep.
Great.
Yep. That's all we need.
Oh, I love it.
And you are under the desk in part of the episode.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I was saying some nice things. Well, maybe you weren't under the desk, but I was saying some nice things about you.
Oh, yeah. No, that was my version of comedy, but I wasn't under the
There you go.
You're right, though. I was around the desk. Good tease. Good tease. We love everybody. Please love one another. Follow Shazam Mike and the Letterman Podcast on YouTube, New Life of Old Nicole, Porsche Life 111, and Cars and Comedy 111. That's right. Tomorrow we're at GVBC. Next week we're back. See, this is how it is. It's every other show. The next show, next Tuesday, we're back with Eddie Brill. Eddie Brill was he's a wonderful stand-up comedian, but he's the warm-up guy and comedy booker for the Letterman Show for many, many years, and it should be a really good conversation. So looking forward to it. And that's what's going on. All right. We love everybody, right? We're done? Good? Love you?
Peace and love.
Okay, good. Thank you very much for watching. Tom Snyder is next. Good night, everybody.